Howdy everyone, it's Reese, aka Bearman Prime here on this January the 13th. Welcome back to my Read the Bible in a Year series. Thanks once again for joining me, I sure do appreciate it. Card in the top right hand corner for the rest of the playlist so you can get caught up. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can keep up with us going forward. Yesterday, we were introduced to Isaac, the chosen son, the promised son of Israel, of Abraham, and we were also introduced to Ishmael, Abraham's firstborn, from a slave woman who was sent away, but still was looked after by God and would become a nation on their own. Not the chosen nation, but still a great nation on their own. So now we're going to focus in on Abraham and Isaac here, and this is a big part of the story. We're also going to see our first depiction of what Jesus looks like and what Jesus is for us in this story. So we're going to go to chapter 22, starting in verse 1. After these things, God decided to test Abraham's faith. God said to him, "Abraham." He said, "Yes." God said, "Take your son to the land of Moriah and kill your son there as a sacrifice for me. This must be Isaac, your only son, the one you love. Use him as a burnt offering on one of the mountains there. I will tell you which mountain." In the morning, Abraham got up and saddled his donkey. He took Isaac and 2 servants with him. He cut the wood for the sacrifice. Then they went to the place where God told him to go. After they traveled 3 days, Abraham looked up, and in the distance he saw the place where they were going. Then he said to his servants, "Stay here with the donkey. The boy and I will go to that place and worship. Then we will come back to you later." Abraham took the wood for the sacrifice and put it on his son's shoulders. Abraham took the special knife and fire. Then both he and his son went together to the place for worship. Isaac said to his father Abraham, "Father!" Abraham answered, "Yes, son." Isaac said, "I see the wood and the fire, but where is the lamb we will burn as a sacrifice?" Abraham answered, "God himself is providing the lamb for the sacrifice, my son." So both Abraham and his son went together to that place. When they came to the place where God told him to go, Abraham built an altar. He carefully laid the wood on the altar. Then he tied up his son Isaac and laid him on the altar on top of the wood. Then Abraham reached for his knife to kill his son. But the angel of the Lord stopped him. The angel called from heaven and said, "Abraham, Abraham!" Abraham answered, "Yes." The angel said, "Don't kill your son or hurt him in any way. Now I can see that you do respect and obey God. I see that you are ready to kill your son, your only son, for me." Then Abraham noticed the ram whose horns were caught in a bush. So Abraham went and took the ram. He offered it instead of his son as a sacrifice to God. So Abraham gave that place a name, "The Lord Provides." Even today, people say, "On the mountain of the Lord, he will give us what we need." The angel of the Lord called to Abraham from heaven a second time. The angel said, "You were ready to kill your only son for me. Since you did this for me, I make you this promise. I, the Lord, promise that I will surely bless you and give you as many descendants as the stars in the sky. There will be as many people as sand on the seashore, and your people will live in cities that they will take from their enemies. Every nation on earth will be blessed through your descendants. I will do this because you obeyed me." Then Abraham went back to his servants. They all traveled back to Beersheba. Abraham stayed there. All right, so that was pretty heavy there, I think. So let's talk about what's happening there. So God was testing Abraham. Even though in his foreknowledge he knew what was going to happen, he still had to do it because Abraham still had a choice. And he told Abraham, "I want you to sacrifice your son for me." And again, to Abraham's credit, which was credited to him as righteousness, he obeyed. So he went to the place that God told him to. He was prepared to sacrifice his son to God right there. And to Isaac's credit too, Isaac, as it's written here, it didn't say he resisted. He just trusted his dad because he loved his dad. And even though they were both probably just crying their eyes out, not understanding what was happening, They were prepared to go through it because God told them to. And that faith that was credited to Abraham as righteousness is what saved Isaac, is what saved the nation of Israel. And then, as we see, God provided something in Isaac's place. He provided the ram caught in the thicket. This is the picture of Jesus. Okay? God provided a sacrifice for our debt, for our sin debt, because we deserve to die because of our sin nature. But instead of us having to pay the price, God sent a lamb to be killed in our place. And we'll see this picture later on in the next book as well, how God sends something in our place to take the punishment for us because he loves us so much. So I want you to keep this in mind as we move forward. Thank you for joining me today. I sure do appreciate it. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.